he won his bumpers. We were thinking that if he was very, very good, he might even just stay down the bumper route and be a champion bumper horse, which I'm not a great fan of the race anyway, unless you're an absolute, unless you know you're going to win. And he was probably just a little bit short of that at the time. He's a lovely horse. He'd go straight over hurdles. Well, no, he's been over hurdles, but we threw him in very deep, which brings him into his novice hurdle campaign with experience, streetwise, all ready to go. He's a lovely horse.
A horse who certainly, if races were won on looks, he'd probably be unbeaten. He looks very much like his brother, Flinteur Sacre. How excited are you about him?
I think you have to be. I mean, it's so difficult, isn't it? I mean, what he did, he was second at Newbury in very bad ground. We nearly didn't run. And he cruised up there, just a furlong out, but got a bit tired in the ground. And he finished a very good second to what I hope will turn out to be a good horse, Ben Pauling's. And then we went to Kempton, because he just came back so fresh and well. And went to Kempton, and he won by 20 lengths. I think Barry said it was the easiest bumper winner he ever rode in his life. To be fair, it was not a good race. So you wouldn't want to hang your hat on that alone. It's just that AP was down here the other morning, and you know, we were schooling him, and he does all that. Just, it's all very, very easy to him. And you don't dare hope that lightning strikes twice, because it very seldom does. And actually, it was Ronnie Bart that said to me one year, we were looking around and we were finding Simon Sigg's relations here, there, and everywhere. So, we might buy this, we might, but you know. And Ronnie said to me, "Well, tell me one thing." He said, "Could Maradona's brother play football?" And I don't know. Probably could, for all I know, but how many times we all go out and think if we found the brother to our, you know, if he was our best horse, we think we've got to buy it. Actually, we did buy a brother of Simon Sigg's last summer, and he's just starting to do some quite nice work. I'm not saying he's another Simon Sigg, but he's looking quite smart. But Flinteur is, you know, as AP said, you do watch this and you think, well, he can't be another Sprinter Sacre, but it does do everything right at the moment.
Does he show you at this stage of his career what Sprinter Sacre did?
There's a lot of, yes, he did. I mean, he looked very, very good from the word go. Yeah, yeah. He's got a lot of pace. He appears to jump very well. He's an incredibly enthusiastic horse. He lives in the same box. Looked after by Sauer, looked after Sprinter. You know, there's. We're not trying to make him into another one just because he lives in the same box as Sepsi. He doesn't actually. He lives about 2 boxes away.
But he's giving you all the right.
He gives you
signs.
the right vibes, yeah. But I mean, there's a long, long way to go.
You've got a sister to Mr. Fisher and Miss Fisher. What's she shown you?
She's good. She worked this morning. She's coming along. She hasn't quite got the size and scope of Mr. Fisher, but she's a very sweet, very attractive filly. She would have run in a bumper in the spring had the season continued, and of course there were an awful lot of those that, you know, we would have run in March and April in bumpers. So they've all got to that we don't really know. Well, we did know a fair bit about, and some of them have already come out and won their bumpers. So that's encouraging.
And speaking of horses that have already been out and won this season, Vegas Blue.
Yeah, she was good the other day, wasn't she? I don't know how she didn't win one last year. Probably trainer error, I expect. Yeah, she looked really uncomplicated and professional the other day. She'd got the experience last year when she didn't win, so she started the year as a novice. No, I thought she was good.
For those watching who don't know the horses that you've got in the stable, obviously if we ever see a Nicky Henderson horse in a bumper at Newbury or Kempton or Sandown, people pay pretty close attention. We've seen plenty of the horses this morning, including a horse called Blair Gowie. What can you tell us about him?
He's lovely. He's a great big horse by Yates that we bought at the Derby sale, Thomas Barr, the year before last. He would have run in the bumper in the spring had there been such a thing, but he's a very big horse, but he didn't miss much. He'll run in a bumper and then go novice hurdling. I mean, he looks nice, but I couldn't tell you he worked very well this morning, but that's, I couldn't tell you much more than that, to be honest with you. I don't know. There's quite a lot of, there's some very nice horses out there that I actually don't know what they are yet.
The horse who came to you last back end, Patroclus, who I know is a lovely big horse, you feel
He's
quite a lot about
gorgeous.
him.
Yeah, no, I love him. He came from the sales, he'd won a point to point. I think he'd actually been second in a point to point, but it doesn't really matter when they win or second. Just the horse. I did one bit of work with him in the spring before he went out for the summer, and that was enough. I didn't need to see any more. He's lovely.
So which is going to be the Henderson bumper banker?
Well, they won't be doing a lot of bumpering because at this time of year there's not a lot of point. Some of these will go straight over hurdles. There's quite a few to run in bumpers, yes. That I don't.
I mean, last year you gave us Shiskin, and obviously you were spot on. You've always given us a horse who could take you to the Supremes and those types of races. Which is the one at the moment you think that could be the one to follow for the season?
I think you mentioned Time Flies By. I think he's going to be a nice novice. There is another novice in there that's very much the same as him, Pipesmoker. I'd be quite keen on him. He was a little bit in the same boat. Now we just we ran in him some hurdle races that he couldn't that he'd be pushed to win, and so he comes in under the same radar as a novice with experience. I'd like him, as you say, if the Time Flies By, he might want a bit further than 2 miles. If there's a 2 miler, then yeah, it's novice hurdler. Then I suspect Flinteur Sacre might be the one.